Hello and welcome everyone to the World Athletics Club, live from the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha. For the next 10 days, we'll be going live from here, not only talking to everyone here in the stadium, but also to the rest of the world. And we'll be bringing the stars of these championships and some legends. And speaking of legends, I've got with me Ewan Thomas, European champion, Commonwealth champion, and world champion. Ewan, welcome. What are you making of the stadium?
Absolutely stunning. I wish I was 20 years younger and still an athlete, because I think the competing athletes of today are very lucky to run inside such tremendous stadiums. I've got to say, the IAAF and their team, when the lights go down tonight, when it becomes dark, they're in for a treat, because something very special will be happening at these World Championships. And I've jogged around a little bit, and I've got to say, the track, even though I'm old, even I felt fast. This is a very fast track. The conditions are fantastic inside here. And I personally think, I'm going to put it out there, I think we're going to see at least 2 world records during these championships. And one of which will compete tonight in the 400 hurdles. It's the heats. I personally think Carsten Warholm will retain his world championship title. Of course, he won that in London 2 years ago. And in doing so, I think he's going to smash the world record. I'm putting it out there.
That's a bold prediction. And speaking of London, I know we're here in Doha, but it was such an incredible championships 2 years ago. So let's take a look back at some of the highlights from London 2017. London looked pretty great, didn't it? But if you take a look around this stadium, some of you might have been here for the Asian Championships or the Diamond League earlier this year, and it looked quite different then. So to make this stadium look this incredible, it's taken hours and hours of work of all the helpers here. So we went around, took a camera behind the scenes, and we'll show you a bit of what goes on in order to put on an event like this, to make this stadium look as great as it is now. Quite impressive, right? I seem to have lost Ewan. Ewan, where are you? I think you found some special guests.
Yes, don't worry about me, I'm never lost. I can work my way around a track, just about. Anyway, I'm with 2 very special people. You're going to hear from them over the next 2 weeks, or 10 days. Of course, it's Catherine Merrin, Jeff Whiteman, both very established athletes in their own right, but the best in the business with a microphone. So I'll start with you, Jeff. Apart from the marathons at the Cornell tonight, what are you looking forward to?
By the way, you're the only person in the stadium wearing a jacket at the moment. Are you warm enough?
Well, I thought it was day one. I'd best make an effort,
I thought
try and
you'd
look as neat as I can.
Come from court or something. Fantastic session, a great one to have a ticket for. As you mentioned, the marathon is free tonight at midnight, historic marathon taking place on the Corniche, but this is a good one. We've got all of the athletes in the men's 100 metres making their first appearances. So we've got the preliminary round in the men's 100, which will feature some of the smaller nations. Then the most successful athletes in those preliminaries will appear with all of the rest of the men's 100 metre runners. That builds to tomorrow night's blue ribbon final. That's going to be great. Another event I'm really looking forward to is the women's steeplechase, because that was the wackiest race I've ever seen in 2017. We had people missing the water jump, turning around and going back. We had fallers. We had 5 together with 100 metres to go, and it ended up being an American 1-2. They're all back here tonight making their first round efforts in the women's steeplechase.
And Catherine, I've got to ask you, I know this makes us both feel old, but we went to the World Junior Championships together in 1992, yourself an Olympic bronze medalist. Without making you feel really old, are you slightly envious of the athletes today in terms of the tracks, the surface, the conditions, and also the special show that will happen tonight?
It's wonderful in here. I think it's fair to say that the stadium's set up absolutely beautifully. The athletes will thrive off this. They like something that looks good. We've got so much innovation coming throughout these championships to look forward to as well. So yes, Ewan, I am envious. It's been 20 years since I ran in a World Championship final, and I wish my legs would still move that quickly. But I think it's fair to say that the stadium looks great now, but we've got some good stuff coming, so very excited.
And in terms of the whole 10-day period, what's the event that stands out for you? I know obviously the 400 is your event, but is there any other events that are catching your eye?
I think what's special about 2019 is the depth that we have on the track and in the field. Jess mentioned some of the track action tonight. We've got the field events, of course, starting. We could, and it is a big could, and I know you and Michelle have been talking about it, but there could be some special performances here in Doha. There could be world records challenged, and that in itself is exciting, and world champions are going to be crowned, and you can never take that away from a lot of the athletes. There's a lot at stake here over the next 10 days.
And Jeff, can I ask you a little bit about the conditions? Because obviously we know how hot it is outside, but the track here, it's a beautiful temperature. In terms of these conditions for the longer distances, and also the fact it is a very hard surface and a fast surface, is that good?
Yes, and in fact, it's very, very noticeable that we've come down from the third deck, where we're sweltering and sweating down here with you, and it is actually remarkably cool and great conditions for endurance running. They'll have the dilemma of staying cool in the warm-up area, which isn't air-conditioned, so there may be a few ice vests and cool preparations there, but when they step out onto the track here, it's as good as anywhere in Europe or North America. It's great conditions for athletics generally, but for distance running, which we're going to be seeing tonight.
Well, as ever, Jeff, Kath, we've worked together for many years. I would like to say we are the self-proclaimed dream team, so I'll let you get back to your positions. Can't wait to hear from you both tonight and also for the next 10 days. Hear from you very shortly, but for now, Michelle, back to you.
Thanks, guys. I just can't wait for everything that you've just mentioned, so it's going to be a fantastic night. I know it's the first day, and with that in mind, we have a special announcement today. As I can see, there are some guests joining me, but today, TDK Corporation and the IAAF are delighted to announce the renewal of their partnership that has been standing for a very long time, for a further 10 years until 2029. Quite fittingly, this partnership began way back in 1983 at the inaugural World Championships in athletics. And since then, the partnership has been going from strength to strength. This also puts TDK into the unique position to be the only IAAF partner to have been supporting this sport since the first edition of the World Championships. And to celebrate, let's take a look at the last 36 years of partnership between TDK and the IAAF.
The IAAF and TDK have been partners since the very first World Athletics Championships in 1983. Together, we have seen some of the greatest moments in our sport. thank you, TDK, for your support. We look forward to many more years working together for athletics.
As you can see, I had to get a seat, and I've got myself some company down here by the start. Please welcome IAAF CEO John Ridgen. John, welcome.
Very good to be here, and what a absolutely stunning stadium. It looks incredible, the most beautiful athletic stadium I've ever seen.
Now, we've just announced the renewal of the TDK partnership with the IAAF. How important is it for you to see such a long-term partner renew their partnership with the IAAF and into the sport as well?
Well, this is the really fun part of my job, when I get to announce the renewal of our longest-serving partner, 36 years to date, and now another 10 years. So can I thank, please, Mr. Ishiguro, also Mr. Osaka, and I'm absolutely delighted. You know, we can only achieve what we want to in athletics by working with world-class global partners, and TDK really are the definition of a world-class global partner. So we are absolutely delighted. The world has changed an awful lot since 1983, and it will continue to change. And our absolute focus and strategy now is on growth. And we are going to work with TDK to grow athletics, to make athletics even more popular. And yes, it's a very good day for the sport. And thank you so much for your continued support and belief in our sport.
Thank you very much.
And you've already mentioned someone else has joined us here, which is TDK CEO and President, Mr. Ishiguro. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Now, what makes athletics such a great product for TDK to keep investing in for you?
Okay. Thank you very much for the question. And I, first of all, would like to thank you, John, and the IAAF for offering us such an excellent opportunity to even further support for the next decade. That is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And as you know, that the TDK is a leading electronics components manufacturing company. And as you know, that the electronics components or electronics market is really highly competitive market. And under such a kind of tough circumstances, that to continue providing the value to the market with the very highly leading edge technology, we definitely need to work hard, and we definitely need to challenge the difficulties, and we certainly need to be excellent to the market. So that is exactly the same that athletes, top athletes are doing. We are sharing the same feeling. And also that's throughout this kind of the sponsorship, if we can penetrate the TDK's young, dynamic, and forward-looking and attracting tomorrow type of the message to the world, that would be very much helpful. That is my strong wish. Thank you very much for providing the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ishiguro. Now, something else that TDK have been doing for the last few years is sponsor the World Record Program, which means that any athlete that breaks a world record in an IAAF World Athletics Championships actually wins $100,000 US. And with all of this taking place and the program happening, let's take a look back at one world record that was set at a World Championships a little while ago, and that still stands to this day.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike Powell. So unlucky in the previous round to be denied a huge jump by a marginal no jump. Now what's this one going to be? Well, it looks like 9 meters. What flag's going to be raised? Is he getting the red flag or the white flag this time? He won, and he's being beaten. It's 8:95. Bob Beeman's world record has been smashed by Mike Powell. 5 centimetres adding to that historical jump made nearly 23 years ago in the high altitude of Mexico City. Mike Powell now the world record holder in the long jump.
This is phenomenal. This is the greatest long jump competition ever staged.
And we've just seen him on the screen, and now he is here with me. Please welcome long jump world record holder, Mike Powell.
Thank you very much. That sounds so good to hear. Thank you.
I'm sure you've heard that a few times. Mike, first question. How does one jump 895?
Well, the science of it is speed times height equals distance. So you have to run very fast and stay very tall. You know, and that's basically what it is. So you have to have the speed of a sprinter and then also have the jumping ability of a basketball player.
Seems easy enough.
Well, it's easy for a jumper like me. Since I can't run as fast as him, I gotta jump.
Now, we've just heard about the world record program, which means that athletes who break a world record will win an extra $100,000.
Right.
Is that an added incentive on top of winning a major championship medal?
Well, I mean, it's very nice to get. I think that most people aren't necessarily motivated by money. It's really about the title, and then when you get, oh yeah, I get $100,000 too, you know. But at least for me, I wasn't motivated by money. But some people may be that way. But it definitely won't hurt.
Now, you've already taken something away from me, which is we've got some more guests here. So please welcome 4 times Diamond League champion Noah Lyles and world and Olympic relay medalist Aska Cambridge. Great to have you guys. Noah, I'm going to start with you. It's your first senior world championships. Are you nervous?
Not even close. I'm more excited than anything. I mean, I've been waiting a long time for this. I kind of missed out in 2017 with an injury, and I just was watching that whole championship, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to make sure in all my power I'm going to be there.
TDK's slogan is TDK's slogan is attracting tomorrow. Now, where do you see your role in playing your part in that?
I think it's always good to look towards the future. You know, it's very important that you have that eyesight on the future and what you're doing in the present to get you there. A lot of people want to leave legacies. I'm no different. I want to leave a legacy, so I'm always trying to, I guess, attract a better future than now.
Aska, now to you. Being Japanese, does it mean something extra special to you to have a partner like TDK sponsor the sport of athletics as a Japanese company?
TDK のような日本を代表する企業に長年陸上競技をサポートしていただいていることは、とてもモチベーションになりますし、スタジアムで、TDK の看板やゼッケンを見るたびに、自分たちは、日本代表なんだということを思い出させてくれます。個人的にも、サポートいただいてとても力になっています。
So a company like TDK that's been supporting track and field for such a long time is very motivating to me as a Japanese athlete. And seeing the TDK logo on my bib and looking up at the sign in the stadium also reminds me of that motivation time and time again. And I'm also contracted with TDK and doing commercials, which further motivates me to succeed and it becomes a source of strength.
I can understand that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know you're not racing tonight, but we'll see you in action later on in the week. Noah, Aska, Mike, thank you so much for coming on. TDK, thank you so much for your continued support. And now, before we slowly start paying attention to what's happening here inside the stadium, we went out and had a look at how the athletes are preparing over at the training track over the last few days. Well, that takes us to the end of this show, really, Ewan. You can send in any requests that you might have over the next few days on social media using the hashtag World Athletics Champs. And I think what we'll be doing is the best questions will actually be read out or shown if you film them by video, and we'll answer them here. We'll bring in some of the stars of these championships as well as some selections, and then we'll be here pretty much every day before the session starts.
Well, of course, it is nearly the end of the pre-show, but it's just the start of the real show, because the athletes, they're the legends that are here for you over the next 10 days. They're about to come out here. And, of course, tonight is full of qualifications. I think we've got something like 27 races to get through this evening. And let me tell you, behind the scenes, the athletes now, this is when it really starts. This is when the mind games start. They're in the call room. They're warming up. They're looking at each other. They're thinking, he looks in great shape. She's ready to go. And this is the pinnacle. The World Championships is what all the athletes dream of winning. Making a final, that's brilliant. Getting a medal is fantastic, but to stand up there on that rostrum and be crowned world champion, that is what it's all about. Michelle and myself, we will be back tomorrow for the pre-show, but for me, my evening's just started. I'm going to be here with you all evening, and I've got to say, Michelle, I am so excited. Are you?
I can't wait, and I'll see you here tomorrow just before the session, and enjoy it down here. I'm going to go up on the tribune and watch now.
You can go and relax, you can be a spectator, but as I said, I'm going to be down here on the infield for the next 10 days. For me, this is the best job in the world. I had the privilege of doing this in London 2017. Getting this close to the action really is a privilege. For those who have got tickets this evening, you are in for a brilliant night's action. Enjoy it, but for now, that's it from me.